Appositive phrases. An appositive is a word or phrase that explains, identifies, or renames the word it follows. Appositives can follow a subject, the object of a preposition, a direct object, a subject complement, or some other type of noun, either word or phrase. You'll notice that in these examples that appositives are actually noun phrases. So even though they're giving more information or restating a noun, they are nouns themselves. Let's look at a couple sentences that don't have appositive phrases in them first. Guy Vanderhaeghe is a major Canadian author who is releasing a new book at the end of the month. Or, Guy Vanderhaeghe is a major Canadian author, period. He is releasing a new book at the end of the month. These are both totally legitimate ways of getting this information across. So now what happens if we include some of the information in this statement as an appositive? Guy Vanderhaeghe, comma, a major Canadian author, comma, is releasing a new book at the end of the month. So really all this does is it tightens it up. It gives you the additional information about Guy Vanderhaeghe right away, so we can see very clearly that it's attached to the subject of the sentence. In this case, it's the subject. Now we've surrounded it with commas because it is not essential to the sentence. We could say, Guy Vanderhaeghe is releasing a new book at the end of the month, and that would make complete sense. And there is no clarification necessary. There's only one Guy Vanderhaeghe as far as I know. But this additional information about Guy Vanderhaeghe, this might be interesting, or it might be particular to the context of the writing, whatever it is. So this is a number of different ways that you could approach writing this sentence. So appositive phrases can be really useful. Now sometimes appositive phrases are essential to the sentence and sometimes they're not, and we punctuate these two types of appositives differently. So let's look at this next example. In this next example, we have someone identified as the teacher, but we don't know much about that teacher until we get to the appositive. We visited the teacher, Mr. Johann. Now there are millions of teachers worldwide, so you have to clarify who that particular teacher is. You can't just leave it at the teacher. So when the appositive is essential to the meaning of the sentence, we don't enclose it in commas. So let's look at the next one. Now the next one could probably go either way. I handed Lila, my sister, the book. Is Lila enough information to identify this person? I've decided for the purpose of this sentence that that name is enough. Now, depending upon the context, you might decide, no, there's too many Lilas out there. I'm going to not include those commas because my sister is essential to the meaning of that sentence. Okay, so that's a little bit more about appositives. The big thing to remember is that they rename or further identify or explain a noun or word phrase. And that explanation comes in the form of a noun phrase, an appositive phrase.